Hey everybody, it's Moonbo here, and welcome back to some more Endless Scrap Mechanic. We're back in creative mode with a brand new mech. Now, originally I created a mech that could chop trees down and pick them up and carry them around. I'm gonna leave a link to that video up in the top corner if you do want to check out that really awesome build. And so this is kind of like a continuation of like a mech series, I guess you could say. So this is the stone harvesting mech, or like a rock mining mech. It's really cool. So we're gonna be taking a look at this build and how it all works, and try and harvest some stone. So let's check it out. Alright, so here is the close-up look of the stone mining mech. I'm really happy with this creation. Just making mechs in general is just so much fun, and this one just looks so cool. Now, one thing I'll point out about this build is, well here, let me spawn in the tree harvesting mech here. This is the original mech. If you want to see this in action, then definitely go check out that video. But you can see there is like very distinct like differences between these two mechs. And so one thing I did in building these mechs is I actually built everything from scratch. So you might be thinking maybe I used this leg system and just like copy pasted it and then kind of built off of it, but I ended up just building the legs from scratch. It is such a simple leg mechanism, and I did show you how to build it. I did build it in survival mode, but if you want to check out that video, there's also going to be a link to that up in the corner. So one of the reasons why I'm happy to have built this from scratch is I really feel like it captures a different personality. You can really feel like this is a completely different mech system compared to the tree harvesting, but I want to know, which one do you think is the coolest one between the two? Let me know down in the comments which of the two you think is your favorite. Now, I mean, me personally, I think I might have to go with the stone harvesting mech, at least in design. I would say functionality, the tree harvesting mech is cooler, but when you're in this one and you're controlling it, it just looks so cool. So, much like the tree harvesting mech, we're going to press 1, and 1 is going to start the legs up, and so there is no reverse in this mech here. They don't really walk backwards, but with the suspension glitch, you can turn around very quickly, as you can see, and it's not much of an issue. Now, funny story. So, originally, I was designing this mech to go underwater. As you can see, I got an ocean in the distance there. Now, I tried to do it underwater, but I realized, like, stone mining and rock mining underwater is extremely painful to do because all the rocks tend to float around a little bit. So every time you try and touch it with the drill bit, it would just kind of bounce away and float away, and it was really difficult to do that. So I ended up settling on an above ground, or above water, I should say, mech that can harvest. So one thing that was kind of like a remnant, though, is these thrusters here. You can see I got this thruster on the back. That was, of course, to help it move through the water, and I also have 4 thrusters here for the jet propulsion. So that was to control itself underwater. At the end of the video, maybe we'll kind of like dive into the water there just to have a little look at what it's going to be like. But it was no fun, so yeah, stuck to the groundwork. Alright, so along with all those, we have other switches as well. So 2 and 3 is just to extend the arms outward here. And that's just to reach with the drill bits, of course. We got 4, which is going to turn the drill bits on. And then 5 and 6 moves the drill bits down to the ground. And 7 is interesting. So 7, I ended up making it so that this little compartment back here with the resource collector can be dropped down to the ground. This mech ended up being a little bit taller than the tree harvesting one. So I wanted to be able to pick up all of the resources from the ground after we mined them. So I had to kind of get a little creative with it, put it on some pistons, but I think it ended up actually just kind of adding to the entire design of this mech anyway. Alright, so now we're going to try and mine some stone here. So I've got like a nice lone rock over here. We're going to make our way over there. Here's the first person, by the way. I have these bars in front of me. They don't really look that good in first person, but I can't help but love them in the third person. And I think this is probably a better creation for third person anyway. So let's kind of stop here. We're going to get our legs nice and flat. So one of the things these thrusters are really good for is they kind of pick the mech up off the ground. So I can like spin it much easier, and I can also kind of use it to inch forward. And this is really crucial because when you're walking around, it's not really practical in terms of like trying to like break the stone down with these drill bits. So what we can do, though, is we can use these arms to kind of jab into the stone like this here. You can see we're going to jab in. Oh my god, look at that. All right, we got ourselves some stone flying around. Let's jab it in there. Oh wow, okay, these stones are being ejected rather violently here. I don't know what's going on. So using the thrusters, though, we can kind of just, like, inch our way in like this as well, and you can wiggle around with the drill bits, which is really nice. Now, obviously, you can see we got some on the ground, and the drill bits aren't going to reach down there, so if I press 5 and 6, look at that, you can see those drill bits, they, of course, go down to the ground, and I can even extend them outward, and there we go, look at that, we're getting some more progress here. Now, again, these mechs, they are not made for efficiency, they are made for fun. You know, I'm not trying, what the... Oh my god, okay, I might have to clear some of the area here, what is going on? Alright, so we got some stone on the ground here, and it's making it kind of laggy, so I think we should probably focus on maybe, clearing the area a little bit here. So let's just point the mech towards the stone, let's see what it's like in first person here. Okay, it's kind of difficult to see, but there we go. Look at that. We are breaking the stone down. We're just going to keep on inching our way up. There we go. Okay, let's see in third person here. See, so it does work. You know, we can kind of sandwich the stone in between these drill bits. And it does really seem like it is actually, you know, a means to mine stone. Now, I don't think I would personally suggest doing anything like this in survival. You know, this is just slower, but... it's so much fun. All right, here we go. We actually have some of them broken all the way down into their little log form there, which is really cool. So yeah, so the thrusters are really handy for this little portion of the stone harvesting, and that is, of course, just getting those drill bits to press up against the rock without having to get thrown away because you're trying to walk. So here we go. We're going to bring our drill bits up, though. I'm going to press 7, and there we go. You see, it brought it right down to the ground. And now we're just going to take a little stroll. We're going to go through the area here, and there we go. Look at that. We can pick up all of our resources, just like so, and then pick it back up again. So like I was saying, I really do think the tree harvesting one, in terms of, like, functionality, is just, it's way more interactive, you know? The fact that you're able to, like, pick up the tree and carry it around. By the way, I'm actually working on some more stuff for that tree harvesting mech at the moment, making, like, a sawmill type of thing. It's going to be really cool, so you should probably expect that sometime next week. But you know, this is still, it's a means to break stone down and collect it and transport it in your world. Now, like I said, efficiency for me is not always a priority. I like to get a little more creative, you know, and kind of maybe over-engineer some things every now and then. Okay, there we go. Look at that. So that one was able to get picked up without dropping it down. I guess this was more of like a fail-safe, just to make sure we can get it no matter what. So let's go and grab this final stone right here. And then I guess we'll try and, like, jump into the water. Because as you can see, you know, it is a method of stone mining. It works. Not the fastest, not the smoothest, but man, is it ever fun. And here's just like a really nice view of the mech legs in action here. So one thing I always have to do with these mechs, though, is I have to create an arm system that extends out and over the hinges there where they're turning. So you can see there's like a little bit of clearance area right here in between the arms so that it can go up and down. And sometimes the arms do get a little stuck every now and then, but usually that's not much of an issue. All right, here we go. We're coming up to the edge of this little body of water. So yeah, so I made this because I was a little inspired by like Subnautica or something, and I wanted to do like an underwater style vehicle. But like I said, the stuff just floats around. It's really difficult. Now, okay, I made a ramp over there. It's more of a grade than anything, but I think this is like a sheer drop-off, so why don't we just do, like, the full-on cannonball here. We're gonna go for a swim into the water. As soon as I get to the edge, I'm gonna use the thrusters. We're gonna get into the air a little bit. Here we go. All right, cannonball! Oh, okay. So now this is one of the things as well in terms of being underwater. So this is heavy. This whole thing is extremely heavy. It's all made of metal. You know, there's nothing that should really say that it's this floaty, but as you can see, it just sinks to the ground. Well, I was gonna say like a stone, but it's not. It's the opposite of a stone. It's sinking like a piece of styrofoam or something. It's just really slow, and this is one of the problems when it comes to dealing with like working underwater, is just being a little too floaty, no matter what the creation is made of. Now, I think like sand is like one of the heaviest in terms of like, you know, sticking to the bottom, but even then, it's still not enough. All right, here we go. Epic touchdown. All right, we are on the bottom of the water. Let's get the legs going. Okay, hold on. I might be on too much of a hill. Let's just spin it, do some cool 360s. Okay, there we go. All right, now we're on the ocean floor. So as you can see, I mean, it does walk underwater. You know, it's definitely feasible. But we're gonna make our way over there. You can see I got some stone off in the distance there. We're gonna make our way over to some of that stone, and we're gonna try and mine it. Now, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I do remember it being rather difficult. And look at that, over there, I even made a cave. I was so ready to just have this as an underwater mining vehicle, but instead, you know, things didn't quite work out. But maybe I'm wrong here. We're gonna try this out. All right, here we go. We are coming up to an underwater stone deposit. Now, how is this gonna go? I'm not sure, but let's extend our pistons. We're gonna get the arms going here. And let's just start pressing into the rock. Okay, here we go. We're seeing some sparks over on that side. What's going on? Okay, there we go. Wow, why are they like launching out at me? This is ridiculous. All right, so I've got some broken off there, so I might as well just go straight to that here instead of trying to drill off anymore. And this is just gonna be kind of like a little bit of a test here, just to see what this is gonna be like, and if we are able to even break it down. Okay, let's see, we're gonna drop those, extend the arms. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, look at this. This is just totally different. This is a different interaction here. You can see it's taking way more effort to try and to break this stone down into smaller pieces. You can see I'm pressing up against it pretty much the same as when we were above the water on the ground. And this just doesn't seem to have the same effect. Now, maybe there's some different physics at play, or it's having a harder time calculating the collisions underwater because of the buoyancy. I'm not 100% certain, but this is the clear evidence here that I was talking about, that underwater stone mining, at least in this form as like a mech, just isn't the same. But I mean, either way, you know, this is really cool to be able to be underwater now and, you know, experiencing like a different environment in Scrap Mechanic. You know, I'm so used to just the same flat world or whatever it might be. So this is definitely really cool, and I can see myself building, like, maybe at this point I might build like some type of underwater base, you know, that is inspired by something like Subnautica. Now, obviously, you know, you can't get rid of the water inside of anything, but even then, I think it would be absolutely amazing. All right, now here's just a little view of that cave that I had created, you know, and I have all sorts of stone deposits down here as well. I was ready to have some fun mining underwater, but this is now just a really cool environment, you know. You can come down here and explore it a little bit with a really cool walking mech underwater. I wonder, I hope these drill bits don't rust easily. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of the video today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Endless Scrap Mechanic. I think in the future I'm going to be having to build like a battle mech of sorts to take on some of the Farmbots, so that's probably going to be the next project in the mech world. Oh my god. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you enjoyed the build or the video, then let me know by hitting that like button. Check this build out on the Steam Workshop as well. There's going to be a link in the description down below. And if you guys want to tune in for some more Endless Scrap Mechanic, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and maybe even turn on some notifications so you get the latest and the craziest coming from me in Scrap Mechanic. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will be seeing you in the next one. So bye for now.